The road to the championships is here. The best talent from across the country will compete for the title of national champion. A journey culminating in a lifetime of hard work, dedication, and a passion for the game. The future of the game is here, and their journey starts now.
Off the end of the bat, down! The Hot Shots win it all! What a beautiful day. Huntington Beach, California. This is a gathering of some of the greatest amateur softball travel teams globally. This is the Premier Girls Championship, National Championship from Irvine, California. The Anna Manning Stadium, Bill Barber Park, not too far from the Pacific Ocean out there. This is the 12U Premier Championship Lady Magic out of Sacramento, California. The Birmingham Thunderbolts rising from the Deep South. Hi there, folks. What a great gathering, and it's been a great game all week long if you've ever caught any of them. She is Amanda Freed, Olympic gold medalist and national champion at UCLA. My name is Darren Sutton, and here we go with the 12U age group. Such a thrill because a lot of these athletes are taking on skills next level growing, and now we're seeing them play for a chance to win a trophy.
We were just able to watch the 10U division and talked about how polished those athletes are. This is a level up, and a lot of these athletes are preparing to move on to that 14U division, which we know that's when those college coaches have their eye on you. But these athletes are still young, but they are talented. They've had long, strong weeks, and they're ready to finish strong here today.
Love the view, by the way. We are circling right in upon. This is not something that we got from the tape banks. This is our live coverage up above in the drone, the Lady Magic. Boy, they're a great story. Thunderbolts 6-0. This team had to play 6 games yesterday. That's it, to get out of the losers bracket. Campos Bernal Calvo will introduce you to the rest of the starting lineup as we get ready to go to work. That's our goal on this show, to make sure you get to know all of these athletes pretty personally. Lexi Kelly is in the circle, working against these squads. Alexia, who has been just vital in this event. And we are underway with strike one, letter high, right down the middle. To Kaylin Campos, Lady Magic Munoz out of Sacramento, California. Campos squares the bunt, takes a screwball that misses off the plate. Kaylin Campos, CC is her maid's caller, out of Rockland, California. Rising 7th grader at a Venture Christian School. Her dream school, UCLA. This 2028 grad drops down a beautiful putt. She is on. Well, that's how you start it. And when you've got momentum of playing all day yesterday, you can sometimes capture it.
Yeah, there's no being tired today. This is a beautiful bunt. We knew she was a triple threat. Campos gets her team going with textbook execution on this bunt and run. Showing off the speed as well.
Pride of Martinez, California, is Vanessa Bernal, as she's in the hole 0-1 to start things, a 2027 grad. At Tabernacle School, an 8th grader. UCLA or Washington, her dream schools. Veronica and Victor are her parents. Samantha and Lucas are her siblings, as she stabs right through that one. And fouls that one off. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Really good soccer player as well. Very active, multiple sports. Runner, as that one is on the ground, is short. On across the diamond. That's a nice play. Asher Thompson making the play. We take a look at the defense. A moment ago, Zaborski had that one pop in and out on a swing through. That wasn't a foul ball. She's joined out there, Kokoska, Thompson, Brown, and Reed. That's infield. Pines, Barrett, and McGowan is the outfield for the Birmingham Thunderbolts. Yelly Calvo takes a pitch that this is just outside. Vacaville, California, 2027 grad. 3rd time being at PGF. A little bit low, 2-0 the count. Lalo and Jen are her parents. Dad played junior college baseball, was a third base power hitter. Guess what? This is a third base power hitter. Apple tree in this case. I wonder if Dad hit bombs left-handed. We'll have to figure that one out.
Right now looking at a 3-0 count, so really patient. Would draw a walk if she'll give it to her. And she does.
She does, yeah. Takes a little low, didn't bite. Did her reputation precede her? We're not sure. And it calls now for Kat Medina. Another left-handed hitter. Kat from San Jose, California, 2027 grad out of Willow Glen Middle School, where she attends school. Runner moves up. They cut that throw off, didn't want any sort of sneaking home, if you will. Ansley Brown came in. That was a designed defensive play. Cat takes over the outside corner, 0-2. She had a fun answer. We sent them questionnaires, and I asked, hey, what's the greatest challenge that you've overcome? She said, the greatest challenge I've had to overcome, playing 6 games in one day to make a championship. I was able to do it by not giving up. That was yesterday. Outside. That's kind of a thoughtful and fresh answer, right?
I mean, you really have to take it one game, one inning, one pitch at a time. Because when you look at that mountain you've got to climb, at some point you think, can we do it? And then you get over the top of that peak and you think, oh my gosh, we can do this. So this is not the type of team you want to be facing on a game like this.
Ouch, got her in the wrist or hands as that one came in. She had a design on swinging at that one, but in the end didn't do it. Let's see if it got her, maybe the elbow. Yeah, that left elbow. So it missed the hands and wrist altogether.
I think Medina's the starting pitcher, if I'm correct, and she's a left-handed pitcher, so hopefully,
yeah, good call.
You know, shake that thing off. And
that's the last place you want to take it. Long visit with Lexi Kelly in the circle. She's out of Alabaster, Alabama, 2027 grad. Is at Thompson Middle School. Anthony is her dad, and Katie, her mom, Jonathan, her stepdad. Kate McCartney is the shortstop. Kate sees that one sail to the backstop. Sliding home with the first run. Quite easily is Kaylin Campos. Runners move to second and third behind her. Now a real big chance for McCartney.
I was like, gimme for the Magic to have this ball get back and away for that run to score. Puts the first run on the board and eliminates the force at home.
Kate's out of Placerville, California. She swings through that drop ball that time. Kate dreams of places like UCLA, Oklahoma, and Arizona. Sean and Lizzie McCartney are her parents as she pops that one up back our way, and so we'll do it again. Plays travel basketball as well as travel softball. As a matter of fact, on her travel basketball team, she recently, this past season, was the most valuable player. So she'll have choices to make as she gets older.
But it's nice to know that she hasn't had to make those choices quite yet.
Well, Olympian, national champ, all around great in your generation. Do you support multiple sports at this age?
Is it a conversation? I love it. I love athletes. I love the balance that it creates also.
To the right side, down! Over the head of McGowan, 2 runs will score. McCartney hurries toward third, in standing up, a triple.
So this is some big league hitting. Look at that opposite field power. Just drives it over McGowan's head in right field all the way to the wall. That scores 2 runs. McCartney with the triple.
Taylor Jennings takes her turn now. 1-0 with the screwball off the plate from Brentwood, California. Edna Hills Middle School, a rising 8th grader. And her dream school is Clemson. Younger sister is Cameron. Parents are Elisa and Mike as she swings through that one. This is an excellent student. Honor Society, all 4 quarters, 3.8 GPA or better. Oh, look at those eyes on the circle. Hits it hard, base hit left field. Past the outstretched glove of Asher Thompson. We have seen back-to-back really pretty approaches in the batter's box.
And you hear it time and time again, but hitting is contagious. Once you get that rhythm going and that momentum on your side, it's really tough to squash. Jennings just jumping on board. Another really strong opposite field hit. And that'll score another RBI.
Chance now for Reagan Wise with the runner out in front of her. We reset, restart, 4-0, the Sacramento, California native. Heading to Lone Junior High as the 7th grader. Oh, way outside. Boy, Zaborski really set up far outside that time.
Now, it looked like there was a couple of looks down at the wristband, maybe a pick off on or a confusion with the signs.
Reagan pounds that one off the plate after a stumble, gathering herself. Lexi makes the play. Runner moves to second. A little effective pitch that time.
And it went slow and away and then came hard and in.
It's Micah's turn. Also makes her home in Sacramento. Micah Kennedy takes outside, 1-0 the count. Marvinia is mom, Eric is dad. His sibling is Dakota Kennedy. Right back to the screen, an aggressive cut at that one.
Yeah, and again, Zaborski sat way off the plate and that ball ended up a little too much on. Kennedy took a nice hack at that.
Big sis Dakota on her way to the University of Arizona to play softball. Plays for that 18U Magic Munoz team, which placed 3rd this year at the 18U age group. She calls her sister her inspiration. Oh, right under her hands. Good 2-1 pitch, a screwball there.
Now we've seen some nice mix of pitches these last few at-bats. We're using the changeup more, that screwball inside, and then that drop that's tailing down.
Toward the middle of the diamond, surrounding it, making the play out there is Ansley Brown. Brown, the second baseman. Oh, the magic just showed up big time. Beautiful approaches at the plate all over the ballpark. They made a statement. It's 4-0. Well, up against it to start things. Those youngsters looking on, the Birmingham Thunderbolts, Alford, getting ready to deal with Cap Medina. Brown, Thompson, Pines at the top of the order. Reed, McGowan, Kokoska, and McHenry, Zaborski, and Barrett take us on to the finish line. This was a team that was virtually unscathed earning their way here. This is a deeply talented team with Brown at the very top of things. Ansley's from Jasper, Alabama. She looks at that curveball that misses outside. Curry Middle School, 8th grader, which makes her a 2027. Got pulled up to her school's varsity team, won a 4A state championship this year as a 7th grader.
I think it's amazing that those athletes can play up at their high school. We don't have that around this area, but some of these talented athletes get 5, 6 years playing with their high school team. It's pretty special.
Pounds that one off the hard hand right there to make the plays, Vanessa Brunel. Defensively, we saw Vanessa already. Jennings is her first baseman. McCartney is her shortstop. Calvo's at third. Campos, Wetland, Rosatis in the outfield, and Reagan Wise is behind the plate. Asher Thompson is from Alma, Georgia. Bacon County Middle School. Those are her dream SEC schools, as you can see. 1-0 the count. Is nominated for the All-American Games in Atlanta, Georgia. Is an excellent basketball player as well. Change-up floats in there, 1-1.
That was a nice pitch by Medina. She was shaking that elbow a little bit before going out there. She was hit by that pitch in her last at bat, but settling in and executing off speed really well.
Just missed the outside corner that time. Thompson draws inspiration from the career of Sis Bates, the Washington legend. She loved watching her play for her time there. 5 years, I believe. You include the COVID time as that one disappears away, 2-2. And it's been a little bit of overcoming too for Asher already. Double knee surgery within 1 year. Intense physical therapy coming back. She said it sharpened my mind up. I didn't know if I had what it took to come back from that. Well, here she is, and she hits it right back to the circle. Couple of quick outs. Kat Medina. Calls being made by Deion Thompson, Sherman Slack, Alan Rucker, and Jonathan Liggins are our Premier Girls fast pitch umpires today for this championship game. Well, they've done a great job this entire 2 weeks of events. We end up seeing a lot more of them at the higher level games, the championships, the All-American games. Emma Pines shoots that one off the back screen. What a beautiful day it is in Irvine, California. As Emmon looks at a changeup outside.
Emma's coach talks about her power at the plate and says she's your typical 3 hitter, can do just about anything, but she'll hit bombs too.
Playing for this Birmingham Thunderbolts club, based in Birmingham, nonprofit organization, sole purpose of providing the youth an area to compete, and they hope for a national title. Some of the words they share with us on their website. The Bolts typically have 10 to 12 teams from ages 8 to 18. Several other teams throughout the South. Frederick Alford is the head coach. All the outs on the ground. Kat Medina just fine. We're all just fine here in Southern California. Why wouldn't you be? Head to the water, right down through Laguna Canyon. Lady Magic out of Sacramento, California. You end up doing about a 5-6 hour drive if it's a clean, good, quick drive. When you're the Lady Magic, here's what happened basically. They ended up, after going through their pool play, having to do this. And this is all in 1 day after yesterday, and then having to win twice at the end of things yesterday. Ended up being a 6-game day, which had moms and dads getting in their cars that had sent their athletes with families who had maybe switched out, they got back in cars and said, we're coming back down.
Yeah, you look at this lineup of the opponents they had to run through, and after going through that, you got to believe that this Lady Magic team came in thinking they could beat anybody. There's nobody you can put on our path that's going to take us down. And we have one game today. After yesterday, one game has got to feel so clean, so easy, and they're already just leaving it out there on the field.
Pitch is just off the plate. The 1-0 the count to Natalie Rosatis, Rancho Murrieta, California, 2027 grad. Hoping to bring home a title to her dog Sully, one of her best buddies at home. I mean, no offense to Jenna and Kaylin, her sisters, but everyone loves Sully, and he loves everyone just the same. 2-0 the count. Wide open stance, bat parallel to the ground. Right down Broadway, 2-1. Rosatis, the right fielder in this game. Good pitch in off the plate, really tied her up. Headed into 7th grade at Catherine Albiani Middle School. That 8th grade, a 2027 grad. Good take.
Yeah, you like to see this out of your 9-hitter. And Rosatis is typically one of the team's higher average hitters, so down there in that 9-hole, you like to see her have these good quality at-bats and get herself on base and turn it over to the top.
Slaps that one to the other side. Kokoska is there to make the play for the out. Rosatis flipped over from a right-handed hitter to a left-handed hitter at 10U. Trying to put herself on. Let's take a look at the scouting report. When you think about this Lady Magic team, I know they shared this with you, Amanda.
Yeah, well, the power offense, we saw that in that first inning, and just incorporating more of their pitching into their game. But most importantly, that sisterhood, that strong bond. You don't get through tournaments like this if you don't have good camaraderie. It's a long, tough tournament. You certainly aren't going to get through 6 consecutive games in a day if your team isn't playing on the same wavelength. So a real testament to the team building capabilities of the coaching staff and keeping all these girls together and in it.
Off the end of the bat, shallow left. Collision out there, going back to shortstop Thompson, banged into Pines. Everybody's okay. And the better angle clearly was Emma's angle, the left fielder, but maybe didn't call her off.
Yeah, it's always tough when your shortstop's going back hard, your left fielder's coming in hard. Both might be audibly, you could see the lips moving on both of them, but when you're running, sometimes if you're not loud, it's hard to hear.
Vanessa Brunal fouls that one back to the screen. We saw the coaches a moment ago. We'll hear from them in a bit. Bernie Munoz, the head coach of this Magic team, grinded in the minor leagues as a player for 6 years after playing at San Francisco State. He started playing as a very young man. Started coaching in 2014. Wife Lindsay is his assistant coach. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Lexi pulls it right back together. Alabama meets Sacramento, California in this fun matchup, 12U Premier Championship. The 12U Premier Division Championship game. Premier Girls fast pitch. Bottom of the 2nd inning is upon us. 4-0. The Lady Magic on top. Jade Reed, Brooke McGowan, Madison Kokowski, the 3rd baseman. Jade leads it off, though. Playing at first base today out of Medina, Tennessee. An 8th grader, a 2027 grad, with Alabama as her dream school, and she takes strike 1. First time she's had a chance to play softball on a national stage like this, she said, I'm having a blast. Share with you how her team has gotten here in a bit, but they have been, simply put, a tough, tough foe.
All right, and Reed is just an athlete. When you look at the way she's described, a 5'10" first baseman, but she's got speed. She has the ability to steal bases, hit for average, hit for power. So somebody you have to look out for.
Her mom is Jennifer. On the ground, played as a backhand. Everything's been on the ground. And we talk about, it's not that it's been an unscathed road. They had their scares along the way. I think the biggest scare coming against the CF Stars team. That was a 5-4 final, and it was nail-biting. That one was on Friday as we play here in the finale. And they bounced right back. Boy, they really took it to the Beverly Bandits KAM team yesterday. Bandits would have had to beat them twice. 1-0 the count to Brooke McGowan. Brooke pulled her hands in. The Babinette, Alabama native races up the line. Rounds out 6-3. Taking a peek at the scouting report for this team with their head coach Frederick Alford, Amanda.
Yeah, and you know, they talk about this rebuilding year, but this really is an organization that is deep and strong, and they have the reputation for pulling it together quickly. They've got really strong camaraderie, which you see across the organization, and then having that depth in the circle is always a plus when you get to big tournaments like this.
Depth and dependability in the circle for Kat Medina. Just worm burner after worm burner, everything on the ground. Here in Irvine, California, 12U title game. This ballpark has hosted so many great events, international events, in this case, national events. What makes it great are the berms, the hills, the signs, the families. Had a chance to meet a bunch of these families just in between events and heading out to get a soda between all of our broadcasts. Everyone's in such great spirits, and we have had over the last 2 weeks, you can speak to it, you're truly a local, I just visit. It's about as good as you can have the weather. I mean, when the highs inland are in the 80s, that's summer, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really been gorgeous. We've had a breeze all week long. It's been warm, but it hasn't been uncomfortably warm. And here at Bill Barber, I mean, it really doesn't get much better than it's been the last few weeks.
Ellie Calvo will lead things off, walked and scored. Screwball gets the outside corner to Calvo. Cristiano and Cruz are her siblings. Cristiano is 12, Cruz is 5 years old. Pitching careful again. We get another look at this power hitter. This is a power hitter.
She's got 10 home runs this summer alone. She was walked her first at bat. Do you think maybe with a runner in scoring position, it's probably not the worst idea to put her on base? Here she is leading off the inning.
Changeup never got there. It's interesting when you talk with her. You share the coach's scouting report about that explosive power. She talks about her defense at third base as her strength.
All athletes view it a little bit differently. Maybe she thinks she could get even more power at the plate. Or maybe she's really proud of her defense and how far it's come.
Boom. I think you just nailed it right there. You know, she's become, she takes it, doesn't take it for granted, but those are her own expectations. I'm supposed to drive the softball. She knows she can. I'm going to guess she's very proud of her growth at third base. So. She said in 10 years she'll be wearing a Bruins uniform playing for UCLA.
In the big?
That's what she said. In the evolving Pac-12, we'll just go with that. They may be in the Big Ten. You're exactly right.
Ooh.
But she did share, look, my bat has improved, my glove has improved, but more than anything in 2022, my mind has improved, my mental game. Fun little matchup. Lexi tries to find the strike zone, elevates. Well, that's a good pitch. There are no perfect pitches when you're dealing with a dangerous mistake hitter, but raising that line of sight as quickly as she did gives her tons of options now. on a 3-2 count. She goes in. And I think more than anything, you give credit to Yelly for spoiling good pitches. Pitcher is allowed to think, I'm making good pitches. Hitter's thinking, I'm just waiting for mine.
Right.
And she earned herself, as that pitch sails up and away, a walk. Wanted to stay and hit.
I was going to say, she didn't even want to walk. She was still looking for her pitch. And I think that was a great pitch. I probably wouldn't have put it any closer to the plate. This is a pitch you want to get called. It's a little bit off.
Yeah, you can go. Here's Kat. Kat fouls that one off at home plate. Medina working in the circle, was hit by a pitch. Fortunately, she's all right. Got her in the elbow, the left elbow, as Amanda noticed right away. Came around to score, though, on McCartney's triple.
It's been fun to watch Kat play. Haven't had a chance to see her swing it quite yet, but her performance in the circle, not just her pitches, but the way she's been able to field her position has been impressive.
Joseph and Isabel are her parents. Slightly open stance from the left side as she rolls that one foul. She sees herself in a decade as being a hitting or a training coach in the big leagues. She says specifically, I hope with the Dodgers.
All right. That'd be awesome.
Outside. When you ask Kat what her favorite meal is, it's steak with fettuccine that Dad makes. Joseph, well done. That's got to be a point of pride, right? I mean, almost like you get that review. They could put anything down that they could put an In-N-Out burger, double. Favorite restaurant, but they put Dad's steak and fettuccine. 1 and 2.
Dad was probably looking over her shoulder.
I think Dad might have helped her. That's exactly right. Outside, 2 and 2 the count. There are occasions where we hear that, you know, hey, Dad, my dad was an excellent this or that. I'm thinking, was Dad helping her out with that? We know at the 10s the parents help. Maybe not the 12s or 14s. 2-2. Bouncing ball to the right side. Underhanded flip that time by Ansley Brown. Calvo quickly moved up to second. Where were you at this age, as far as your development and growth? What happened years 11, 12, 13 to you?
Oh gosh, that's when I finally started to pitch a little bit. So I was always small. I was a little middle infielder, a scrappy little hitter, but probably a year from this age, I started to grow a few inches and really kind of figure out my swing and pick up some velo in the circle. But I wasn't where these athletes are right now.
Boy, what a pitch. The play toward third with the ball popping away, and a run will score on a miscue. Hurrying into second, tag is there, in safely. All of that behind what was a really good pitch that tied up a dangerous hitter who had tripled last time up. That's a bit of a gift for the Magic.
Oh, this was such a good pitch and a sure out at first. McKelly sees that runner going, thinks she has a chance at her. You want to go to first and make sure you get that sure out. She's just not balanced to make that throw, and a little miscue, mishandling of the ball over at third leads to that run.
That was a beautiful swing by McCartney. She was respected, and Lexi made the pitch, but then didn't make the play. If you turn and get that sure out at first, you've got 2 outs, and then you're in really good shape. She saw, in her mind, that out at third, though. Down off the end of the bat. Taylor Jennings also singled in a run behind McCartney's triple in the first inning. 5-0 the score. The Sacramento-based Lady Magic on top. Tempting changeup, but watched it sail by, did Taylor. Sister Cameron, a year younger, also plays for the Lady Magic program. Got the call of a strike at the bottom of that strike zone.
The families did not like that call. There's a little movement from behind the plate. I think that's what threw it off.
To the backstop. That allows the runner McCartney to move up as that one sails high. Off Ray Saborski's glove. Three and two, the count on Jennings. Knocked down, really good play in the circle, and the run scores. But that anticipation by McCartney, she went on contact there.
And I think Alexia's just in her head a little bit. She's such a great athlete. I don't know if she forgets the runners on third or because of that last play thinks I'm just going to get this out. And maybe doesn't assume that runner's going to take off because it was so sharply hit right at the pitcher.
Curveball hits the outside corner for a strike. Here's what Amanda's talking about. Watch the runner when it's caught.
So aggressive base running. You can see that runner. McCartney takes off right on contact. That aggressive base running is really paying off for the Lady Magic.
And as we talked about, momentum. I mean, a team that had to play 6 games yesterday, playing out of the losers bracket. Lady Magic program founded in 1983. A fun, rich history. 10U all the way up to 18U. That one is high. Ernie Munoz, Lindsay Munoz, co-head coaches. That one misses low. Ernie also coaches the 18U team with Lindsay. And their 14U program is coached by Matt Boykin, Eric Graham as well. The Lady Magic. Frozer, inside corner. That's strike 3. A couple of base runners reach, a couple of base runners score. Sacramento proud, up 6-0, PGF. The Birmingham Thunderbolts, and they look up at their sisters, their 14U team that awaits a chance to bring home a title. As they look down onto the diamond, those are good-looking gold jerseys there. This 12U version of the Bolts team down right now by a score of 6-0. Meet Madison McHenry. Makes her home in Nashville, Tennessee. She'll go anywhere in the SEC or ACC. This 2027 grad. Ashley and Joe are her parents. Dad was a Minnesota Twins draft pick, a professional back in 1995. Mom, two-time All-American basketball player at Trevecca Nazarene University. And the 1-1, she didn't mean to, but a check swing roller out to the first baseman, and Taylor Jennings steps on the bag. A week of thrills and competition, but it was softball sisters, one and all, opening up at the opening ceremonies. Amanda, hard to describe how great this gathering is.
Well, it's so hard to describe, and we talked about the community building aspect of PGF, and all of these families and teams gathered in Central Park, 4,000 to 5,000 total packed in there. It was so entertaining. The vendors were everywhere. Just a true celebration of the season these athletes have been playing, and then this upcoming week. We're hoping they enjoyed that and enjoyed this week. I'm sure they did. The weather was beautiful. The softball was incredible.
Abigail Raciborski Fouls that one off at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to count on the young athlete from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. 2027 grad. Bear is her nickname.
Let me see the ball, coach.
And she is a daughter of Jolene and Tony. And it's just the 3 of them as an only child. Both parents are veterans, both serving in Iraq in the 90s during wartime. So we thank both mom and dad, Jolene and Tony, for their sacrifices. 1-2 the count as that one missed outside. 4.0 GPA, Abigail, her entire life. No B's, not yet anyway. She pounds that one out towards short cutoff, racing in front, but then throwing wildly is Yeli Calvo. Calvo created the angle right in front of McCartney, but then threw wildly.
This was such a good job of cutting this off. Look at how far Calvo had to go. And I think that's a great decision. That is her play if she can get there, but then a little bit of a side throw turns errant. And a great job. Rasborski never breaks stride, heads for second.
Emma Barrett from Enterprise, Alabama is due up next. A little bit of navigating going on right now. Reddick Alford, Will Cuthert, Joe McHenry, the coaches. It looks like we will send a runner out.
In a run, second base, number 6, Savannah Severe.
Savannah Severe heads out.
And right now, center fielder, number 42, Emma Barrett.
Savannah from Salem, Alabama. Mom Amy played at Auburn. Played well. Sis runs track at Huntington College in Montgomery, Alabama. And Emma takes a strike over the outside corner. Baretzi, daughter of Stephanie and Jonathan, and that screwball misses wide. Her heroes, Aubrey Monroe, loves watching Aubrey as an athlete, she says, and a person. She also inspires her with her faith she shared. Well done, Aubrey. They're watching you, and you're doing good things.
Yeah, there's been a couple of Aubrey fans.
Emma, the center fielder. You want to nudge back and get even one. Start to get that confident feeling. Heck, with a couple of runners on, maybe 2, because that's back to the top of the order as Emma earns the walk. And that returns us to the top of the order in Ainsley Brown.
Yeah, look at the bottom of the order, getting the job done, getting themselves on base. Medina was perfect up until Rasborski's error on base and then a follow-up walk.
Curveball missed outside. Pretty simple when you look at the results that she throws a heavy softball. 3 groundouts in the first inning, 3 groundouts in the second inning. What should be 2 groundouts this inning, but a miscue. You're watching her stuff. You described a little bit earlier. Why so much on the ground?
Well, she's just doing a good job of hitting her corners and playing to the plate. So she's making the Bolts swing for uncomfortable contact. So a lot of these ground balls are not really hard hit ground balls. There's mishits. They're hit hard into the ground over the top. And I think that's because her locations have been so good up to this point.
So Cat against Ansley after a brief meeting. Got her in the, oh boy, the shin. Ouch. Well, she squared it up too. Let's hope she's okay. You could hear it up here.
Yeah, that hurts. She was going for a bunt attempt, so the leg kind of swung over a little and exposed it. You could see that shin right there. That does not feel good.
Trying to walk it off. An inning without a hit now has the Bolts right back into threat mode. And Asher Thompson for these Bolts has a chance to deliver a really big blow.
Number 7, Asher Thompson.
Asher grounded it right back to the circle, did so back in the first inning. You can see the late dip to the softball. You can see why there are ground balls with every pitch. But for Asher, good take.
Medina's throwing a nice changeup, and one of her go-to pitches is her drop ball. So a lot of that contact's made on that drop, and we know drop has down spin, so the ball will tend to go down into the ground.
So she elevates down and then up when dealing with the daughter of Meg and Bubba. And Avery's big sister, Asher Thompson. Kind of fighting herself this inning, Kat Medina. Even that, though, that was middle, still didn't have comfortable contact on it.
Yeah, that up spin and down spin. That one's spinning a little bit up, so you can see that barrel getting just underneath.
And tied her up way inside and off the plate. Someday when there's maybe a little more pressure on, Asher says, I'd like to be pursuing my physical therapy degree. Also playing college softball. Those are her dreams as a young athlete now. Right back in there. And let it be known that when she's getting all the nutrients she needs for the game, her favorite meal is also made by Dad. Fried pork chops and green bean casserole. Well done, Dad. As we see these combatants, Kat Medina fires it home. Very shallow left field. Here comes Capo. She makes the play. On a hop. How far away does it kick? Not far enough. Cool little moment there, too, because you saw Wise block it up. Good throw from left. And then as she went to get the softball, Medina stepped right on home plate.
Yeah, these athletes really know how to cover each other, and this is a little bit of a risky throw, only because the runner was not going. You could see her standing up on third, but a great job of blocking and then recovering and covering for Medina to make sure that that run doesn't score.
Boy, that's a huge second out. I think maybe the play she will tell you there is to go for Abigail a little further down. You know, kind of tag and bluff pretty hard, and if you see a kick away, you maybe go for it, but she kind of was reserved, understanding she did get a good throw out in front of her. Emma Pines, it's bobbled out at third, recovered in time for the out. Yelly Calvo. Everyone was holding their breath inside of that Lady Magic dugout. Unshaken. Yelly. No matter. I got it. We welcome you back to this 12U title game, and the Birmingham Thunderbolts program so special with what they've accomplished. Frederick Alford is their head coach, and he joins us down below. Frederick, congratulations on what your young women have accomplished. You probably can't even gauge how proud you are of what they've done this week.
No, I can't. We put in a lot of work, and they've done a great job getting here.
Tell me a little bit about the characteristics of this team. In other words, what makes up an Alford coach Thunderbolt team?
Team chemistry. Things that's come together for us, really starting to play together, and it shows.
And Coach, you're getting base runners on base, haven't scored yet, but you're knocking on the door. What types of adjustments are you asking your team to make at the plate?
You got to get the nerves calmed down and get our bats going. With bats were come out a little flat. We got to get that going. Had a rough first inning, but we got to get things back rolling from that point.
Hey, listen, thank you for your time. Congrats on what this program has accomplished.
Thank you.
Head coach Frederick Alford, Birmingham Thunderbolts. Lexi Kelly goes to work, wants to keep it right there. Her team is down 6-0 now. Abigail Saborski, her battery mate. And that one is inside. 1-0 the count. Cameron Brannon takes an opportunity to hit. Brannon gets the call. So we meet an athlete. It's a chance to come off the bench and swing the bat in place of Micah Kennedy, and there's the strike. Cam is from Livermore, California, as she waves through that one at 2027, Mendenhall Middle School. Danielle and Jerry are her parents. 1-2. Pops that one foul. So what do you have for me on playing 6 games in a day? What was it, 15 hours they played out of the losers bracket?
You know, it has been a long time since I've had to play that many games in a day, but I mean, you do it before, and the games can run pretty quickly. It's just hard, though, as we watch the strikeout, at this level, because every team you're facing is tough. So you're not just, you don't have a break. You've got 6 consecutive tough games to play in, and so to stay in it mentally is probably the most difficult part.
And here they are, too. Natalie Brozatis, who grounded out the third back in the second inning. Shoots that one back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike to count to Natalie.
And you wonder if the different paths, the Thunderbolts and Lady Magic having had to do what they did yesterday with those 6 games, and then the Bolts having a little cleaner run through, if that has anything to do with the nerves on the stage today.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's not a whole lot you can get nervous about when you're this team. They're playing with house money. They were kind of that front door doormat for a while yesterday. You're exhausted. Then you lose, and you're thinking, all right, well, this is fun. Reaches out just over the head of the athlete in the circle, and Lexi couldn't get there, and Natalie is on. The right fielder with a single.
A good use of the dirt, getting on top and just making contact way up over the head of Kelly. Look at the range. Thompson at shortstop coming all the way across, but just no play.
Galen Campos drops a bunt down. That's a fair ball. And so she moves the runner into scoring position, but you'll take it. You'll take it if you're the Bolts. That's just a runner for an out and a second out in the inning. She's trying to bunt for a hit there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously you want to get the runner into scoring position, especially when you have Bernal Calvo coming up. But yeah, in that situation, if you can get the ball down and get yourself on base, that's even better.
Saborski with a nice play. I mean, really sniffed it out, quickly came out of the crouch, and an accurate throw. Vanessa Brunal 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. One and 0 the count. V out of Martinez, California. Two and 0 the count to Vanessa. Jasmine Jackson teaching her how to slap, get the hang of it. So one of her instructors that she's learned from. Great softball player, obviously Pac-12. Slaps like that, hits it firm out to third, and a nice play, great reaction by Kokoski out there. A 0 on on the board defensively. What do they have in store offensively? The Birmingham Thunderbolts, 12U PGF. Six to nothing is the score, and Lindsay Munoz, part of that co-coaching staff with her husband Ernie down inside that dugout, played very well at Cal. You've got to be proud of the guts your team showed yesterday, Coach, and now how they're playing today.
Yes, it's all about heart and grit right now. I mean, in the championship game, we've got two of the best, and the difference is going to be who wants it more. And that's, you know, we're looking to be on top with that.
Coach, you came out of 6 games yesterday. I mean, that is something that doesn't happen very often. So you've got to be playing with that, hey, we've got nothing to lose type of attitude we're seeing in your pitchers. But, I mean, what was that pre-game speech like to your athletes today?
Just keep doing what we're doing. Keep marching. Every run is 60 feet away from the next base, and take care of the little things, and that's really going to end up in a big success for us. So we're just going game by game, inning by inning, pitch by pitch, and keeping the small things small and executing.
This program's a family affair, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it was passed down through generations. Kind of explain to us the birth of your program and how proud you are with your husband to help run it.
Yeah, so my grandpa Jerry started this program in the early 80s, and my sister played for Lady Magic from 2001 all the way through both of our careers. I never played for anybody else. And Ernie came to me in 2014 and was like, I want to coach travel ball. I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. It's a lot of work, I promise. And he convinced me to get back in it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. My kids are here, and they're field rats, and just the support that we've gotten from all the families and players that we've had from our 18s team that finished 3rd last week. Just a lot of heart all the way through, and you know, without the families and the kids, we wouldn't be who we are. So,
Lindsay, congrats to you and your program on a great week.
thank you, thank you.
Lindsay Munoz joining us. She and her husband Ernie, co-head coaches of this 12U team. And some work in the circle. Cam Brannon, who we saw earlier with a bat in her hands. Cam Brannon goes to work. Well, Kat Medina was really good. With a 6-0 lead, they hand it over to Cam to get some outs now. Kat was great, as a matter of fact. Hard contact was not going on at all.
Yeah, she was really fun to watch and just set the tone for this game from that first inning on, where she set down the first 7 consecutive hitters.
Hold the string, that one disappears outside. Cam is from Livermore, California. She said, I love to lift outside and off the plate. Bouncing ball. Avoided that in-between hop, and a nice job by McCartney. You know, I don't think if she plays that one back, she's got a shot.
No, not at all. And there has been some beautiful displays of fielding. This ball, if it's not fielded where it was fielded and let go on the run through, that's not an out. That's a tough play.
Madison now, Kokoska. Madison out toward 3rd. Yelly Calvo in time for the out. 5 in a row sat down by the staff. Coming in and doing very good work, Cam Brannon on behalf of the Sacramento-based Lady Magic. Beautiful San Diego lies the best of California in Orange County, California, and specifically here at Irvine, the 12U Premier Division PGF National Championship game. The 12U Bolts, those are the 14U Bolts coming into play for a title later, but that 12U squad out of Birmingham, Alabama, the Lady Magic. And we've got a chance to see the powerful Yelly Calvo hit again. She's walked twice, and she's made him hurt. Hit that one hard. The right to the third baseman, Madison Kokoska.
Yeah, she didn't want to take another walk, so first pitch swinging.
Number 16, Kat Medina.
It's a big first out.
Kat Medina moved into center field after moving out of the circle. She was hit by a pitch and scored in the first and grounded out in the third inning. Medina, one hop, one step to the bag for Jade Reed.
Double zero, Kat McCartney.
Oh, so far pretty quick.
And 2 pitches, 2 quick outs.
Lexi had a clean inning in the second inning and hopes to have one here in the fifth. Changeup is high, 1-0 the count to Kate McCartney. I think of one of the big separators. When you're tossing a shutout, any deficit is fine, but as that curveball is missed outside, you feel like McCartney's triple that plated a couple of runs, that emptied the bases. That felt like a big blow early.
Yeah, it really did, especially because a couple of the other runners were on a base on balls and a hit by pitch. And then that big blast to empty the bases.
But Bolts, you just put a defensive 1-2-3 inning out there. Does that get some momentum into your dugout, help you hit? Let's see. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Southern California on a very beautiful summer day. Temperatures mild even inland from the ocean. We're not too far from the ocean here, though. The story, the team that had to dig out of the losers bracket yesterday, Lady Magic Munoz. They've taken that momentum, and they are right now leading 6-0 over a team, one of the top teams in the country, a perfect team in this event. Birmingham Thunderbolts, that strong program. Stride out of the box and a chance for Madison McHenry. She rolled out to the right side in her first at bat in the third inning. One and two the count.
I really like Brandon's stuff because she's got an off-speed pitch that looks really similar to this drop ball on the outside. Just an obvious speed difference, but coming out of the hand looks similar.
Elevated pitch, elevated softball over the head of the second baseman, Brunel, who turns it into the first out of the inning. Got it a bite on that one. Abigail Raciborski reached on a miscue back in the third inning. Goes by the nickname of Bear. Advanced classes already, academically really challenges herself. 0-1 the count. We didn't have a chance to connect with her in person, but Abigail gives a lot of credit to, as she calls, Coach Joe, playing for the Minnesota Twins. I didn't get Joe's last name. As that changeup is a good one. She said, and I quote, he's humble, he's hardworking, he motivates us with personal stories, touches our heart, teaches us more than just the game. So some great inspiration. Coach Joe, well done. Minnesota Twins alum. Outside. She said her greatest challenge when we're talking about Abigail, it's been adjusting to life, as we spoke of, as a dual military child. Moved around every 3 years when she was young. Mom, active Army. Dad, active Air Force. Three and two.
Yeah, that's really something to be proud of, because I know that's got to be tough to be uprooted and change and move, but it becomes a part of life and creates resilient kids.
Boy, how about that play? Down to the knee. That ball was scalded. Abigail really hit that base softball hard. And right down to a knee, Brunel popped right back up. That's a nice play.
Yeah, this ball was absolutely crushed just right at Bernal at second base, who does such a good job of knocking it down and finishing that play.
Fouled off at home plate by Emma Barrett, the center fielder. I was laughing at the response, one of the responses that Abigail gave, who batted a batter ago. I shared with you her nickname is Bear. 0-2 the count. At the end of our virtual conversation, I asked the athletes, what's your favorite meal? And she said, my name is Bear for a reason. Give me that ribeye and loaded baked potato now. I love that answer. As Emma rolls it out to second base. In time for the out. Good, clean inning for Brannon. Ready to roll deep in this game. Defense has been a huge part of the story for the Lady Magic. Six to nothing is the score. Lady Magic on top of the Birmingham Thunderbolts. Lady Magic out of Sacramento, California, a Deep South represented team from Birmingham, Alabama. This is week 2 of the PGF Championships. Week 1 All-American weekend, and those high school All-Americans, as they are sent off to college softball, the best players in the country, with their unique opening ceremonies, had them out on a yacht. Talk about being honored, huh?
Honored and spoiled. I mean, this was just the most beautiful afternoon evening, out off Balboa Island and Newport Beach. This yacht cruised the harbor for a couple of hours. They had dinner on the boat, got their gear from all their awesome sponsors.
Someday, these athletes say, someday, the wonderful aspirational model that PGF has, in a very good way, laid out there. Well, you and I have talked to athletes. It's funny when they, similar to these athletes, sharing some biographical information with us. As that one into center field, and that's a base hit. Taylor Jennings is ready to rock and roll. That's her second hit. She's also got an RBI.
Jennings has been electric at the plate. Look at how calm and composed she is as that ball's approaching. Not a lot of movement, but so much leverage and explosiveness through contact.
Reagan Wise now 0 for 2. But the athletes will all tell us, the All-Americans, I've been watching this game for several years. It was on my bucket list, on my dream board, wherever you wanted to put it. I was dreaming of being in this game after watching it. That All-American game, of course.
And now with the addition of the futures and those sophomores and juniors, it's fun to be able to watch that talent through the years as they aspire to get to that final senior game.
There were bolts on both teams. There were bandits as well. Midwest team out of the Chicagoland area. One and 2 the count. Runner moves up. The moment that ball popped free, it was a couple of steps and then gone. So a nice jump, great anticipation.
Yep, good heads-up base running.
Ray with an RBI chance now. Instead, that screwball right under her knuckles. Excellent pitch for a strikeout.
This has been a really effective pitch for Kelly when she can put it in this spot under the hands, like you mentioned, Darren. That's too tough to get that barrel dropped and squared up on.
Changeup stays up above the belt. 1-0 the count. Lexi Kelly, as she works in the circle and works against Cam Brannon, who has taken over in the circle. Lexi, the daughter of Anthony and Katie, and a stepdad is Jonathan. Wide open stance, 1 ball, 1 strike to count. High fly, pretty well struck left field. Hangs up nicely though for Emma Pines. We're talking to Lexi about her future plans as she gets ready to face another hitter. And I said, hey, a decade from now, we bump into you. What's the word? What are you doing? She said, I'll be a nurse. I'll be in Hawaii. Maybe even play Major League softball. I'm hoping that's a thing by then.
That's some pretty hefty goals. I like it.
I do too.
I think this generation could be the one to do it. You know, we've got some viable professional leagues. Our sport is getting more and more exposure. The athletes are getting the recognition, the ratings.
Huge ratings. 1.2, 1.4. You talk about the average viewership in the millions at the Women's College World Series. You and I both do a lot of work for the Pac-12 network, and softball rates really well. They're very happy with it. Rolled out, 1 step to her left. That's the third baseman. Kokoski Madison makes the play very cleanly. Getting a little bit later, the Magic on top 6. The PGF merch is the best. It'll be the beach blanket, the tie-dye shirt. I know Freed's always wearing her tie-dye around. They got great stuff. The bucket hat, water bottle. All kinds of good stuff. Amanda Freed, Darren Sutton, and you, thanks for hanging out with us. Ansley Brown out of Jasper, Alabama. That nearly hit everyone. Hey, we got some deals going on up there. Well, folks, you know what I meant at home. I'm getting the business now on that call. It just missed the hitter, just missed the catcher, just missed the umpire. Nearly hit everyone. In the end, hit no one. The 1-0. Little bouncing ball to the right side. Magic defensively really strong. That's Brunel, but it's been everyone. It's been outfield, it's been infield, it's been dependable.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. Just good anticipation, good positioning, clean fielding, strong throws. I mean, as a pitcher, when you're throwing with a defense like this behind you, you can throw a little bit easier and freer and loosen up, knowing that your team's got your back.
It's interesting, the one miscue happened a couple of innings back, and the runner was stranded, which is the key, but it was Yeli Calvo who actually made a really nice play, tried to create an angle across, coming across in front of the shortstop. Just the throw was off the mark, but it actually started with a really good play.
Yeah, and I like pushing the envelope. Sometimes it will result in an error when you're going outside your comfort zone and you're really trying to make that exceptional play. But if you don't try to make that play and that ball goes all the way to the shortstop, the runner's going to be safe anyway. So I'd rather have an aggressive athlete try to make that play.
Good take, everything heavy from both pitchers. Kat Medina and now Cam Brannon trying their best to induce ground balls and doing it. There have been 2 outs in the air all day. That's ball 4. There haven't been many of those either, and that's one of your keys to victory, right? Keep the bases clean. That's only the second walk. There's also been 1 hit batter.
All right, keeping those free passes off the base paths, especially when you've got a team like the Bolts, who are notorious for creating chaos with their running patterns, stealing bases, taking the extra base. So you don't want to give them any extra opportunities to be able to do that.
See if Emmett Pines can turn things over and do so quickly, as that's a high strike. Couple of base runners would be great, a couple of runs, and then you feel differently heading into the final frame. I'll take it a step further as it pertains to Medina and Brannon, the duo that have worked together in the circle. Their pitch selection, their execution, A+. And understand this, they're not getting it all caught up in strikeouts. They don't have any. They don't have any. They're just trying to induce uncomfortable contact.
And their defense is working.
Defense has a chance there.
When you have pitchers who do that, who consistently, I don't want to say allow the ball to be put in play, but don't focus on strikeouts. A lot of strikeout-focused pitchers miss the zone a lot. You'll see more walks, but these pitchers are going right at, they're creating that uncomfortable contact, and they're really involving the defense in the game.
Another chance for the infield. Yellow Calvo to Taylor Jennings, 2 outs in the inning.
Number 25, Jean Reed.
She's been solid over there. That's Calvo again, charging up, cannon across the diamond. And I cannot tell you, Darren, how many times I've looked up and had to remind myself that this is 12U.
And also remind yourself of this, Amanda Freed and all our viewers, that is 16 ground ball outs, 16. On a day in which one team has shined defensively, 24 hours after they had to play what felt like 100 games, they had to play 6. Lady Magic have been focused. Yeah, hitting is fun, there's no doubt. Got to get it past the defense. And the other part of the story, as we've told you here at this 12U Premier Girls Fast Pitch Premier National Title game, is how strong the defense is. And there have been no strikeouts. Kind of have them eating out of your hands if you're speaking of a gifted and talented offensive team like the Bolts. They're making plenty of contact.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just really hard when you've got a defense that is just making plays on everything. So we've seen solid contact being shut down. We've seen miscues or mishits being shut down. They've taken that run game away from the Bolts.
Maybe some juggling going on here with the lineup. We may see some other folks out there, maybe some defensive changes. We'll peek around the diamond just to make sure here for the Thunderbolts. Looks like Brooklyn Talbot is out there at third base. I do see that one. Collectively, we'll peek around the rest of the infield. I know you saw another athlete out there. My apologies. That's Kennedy Cuthbert. I had the wrong number 12, Amanda Freed. Thank you. Kennedy Cuthbert is the third baseman.
Number 3, Kaylin Campos.
And Kaylin Campos leads it off. At Kennedy Cuthbert, the new third baseman. Leadoff hitter, single run scored. How about that speed? I mean, what do you do? Right away, Ellie Mitchell, the new shortstop, was tested. And Ellie did everything right. There's just nothing you could do. Incredible speed.
Yeah, you saw as soon as this ball was put in play where it was going and that it was going to be a really tough play.
Stolen base. So Campos flexing those legs just a little bit now. Vanessa Brunal, 0 for 3. All her outs are on the ground as she stabs through that one. And the new shortstop, Ellie Mitchell, out there working. Ellison is her given name, out of Marietta, Georgia. She dreams of Clemson someday, 2027 grad. The daughter of Brooke and Scott. And KC, Kennedy Cuthbert is over there at third as that one's rolled out toward short. Again, great speed. And Ellie made the play clean, but the speed, this time of Brunel, too much. Runners on first and third.
Now Lady Magic is just working both sides of Mitchell this inning, taking her to the right and then now up the middle. That was clean, it was fast, just wasn't quite fast enough.
Yeli Calvo has been walked twice and then lined, and I mean lashed to softball out to third. 1-0 the count. We told you about Kennedy Cuthbert, the new third baseman. She looks on as Brunel moves into scoring position with the stolen base. Shoots that one foul. Her dad, Will Kennedy, out there at third, the new third baseman. Her dad, Will, the coaching staff for the team. Casey, an excellent student. Kennedy Cuthbert, Duke Tips scholar, academic students, gifted students. 1-1 the count on Calvo. Good take on a changeup.
Yeah, Calvo's been patient this entire game. All of her at-bats. She's taken them pretty deep.
Got her in the elbow. That'll load the bases.
Number 16, Medina.
Nobody out, bases full. Here's Kat Medina.
Get it in the air. Go.
Started in the circle, pitched really well. Scored a run back in the first inning after being hit by a pitch. 1-0 the count.
And you really got to hand it to Kelly. She's thrown a nice game once she's settled down, settled into it. Of course, she's got bases loaded, not a situation you want to be in right now with no outs. But she's really hung tight throughout this game.
Cat puts it on the ground. No one to cover the bag. Everybody's safe. And it's 7-0 Lady Magic.
Now this is tough. You take a couple steps, but then you've got to retreat back to cover the bag. Jade Reed kind of continues through, and it just doesn't allow a play for Brown.
Conversations on one side. Coach Ernie Munoz, a visit to the mound on the other side. Will Cuthbert came out. Will, by the way, played football at Alabama for 3 years. Played for the Lions organization as well. It was so devastating, this triple back in the first inning off the bat of Kate McCartney. Foreshadowing of events, and here she has a chance again to empty the bases. She goes to the right side, comes up with another big hit. Part of the key opening and closing acts. And another run will score. What a day for Kate McCartney. She moved up on the errant throw that time as well.
Now McCartney's come up so big in this ball game. She had that 2-run triple back in the first. Her ground ball in the third led to a run, and then now here another couple runs, courtesy of McCartney.
And we may have a change here for Lexi Kelly as Coach Cuthbert comes back out. Been on this coaching staff since 2017. Alfred, as we talked about, the head coach of this team, Amy Severe on the coaching staff as well, Joe McHenry. Talking through the changes. And we did see Brindley Alfred out there tossing. The switch has Madison Kokoska coming into the circle. Asher Thompson comes back out to the diamond. Remember, Kokoska was playing third.
Could be a big reason why we saw Cuthbert come into third, take Kokoska out, let her warm up, and be prepared for a situation like this.
22, Madison Kokoska.
They're kind of knocking on the door, trying to add on. Early on, you know, they were thinking about, let's get this 8-run rule in effect and see what we can do. And now, here in the final frame, they do go up by more than 8. This team that you thought maybe you had to shake them to get them out of bed this morning, to get a breakfast in them before they played the game, has just turned out to have an amazing day. The history of the program was shared with us, such a unique history. This program, Jerry M. Salter, the founder, as we talked about earlier. The history of this program and the leadership being provided by Lindsay Munoz, who played at Cal. Her grandfather started it, and Ernie, her husband, the two coaches. Lindsay, when she played at Cal, Lindsay Ziegenhurt, by the way.
I remember that name. A very good athlete. And it's so cool to see those two give back, even when their kids aren't on the team. I love the coaches that just love and have such a passion for this game and a want to give back, to spend this much time with these athletes. It really shows.
Brooklyn Talbot gets a chance to hit.
Brooklyn Talbot.
She does so with runners on second and third. Talbot with the at-bat. Fouls that one right back to the screen. Public Safety Academy, Fairfield, California, 7th grader at 2028. Brooklyn, the daughter of Chrissy and Brett. Strong 3.83 GPA. Works as a pitcher many times for this team. It's a fun chance for her to get in the game as a hitter. 2-1 the count. The story of Brooklyn and her comeback ability this year physically, she suffered a ruptured appendix back in February, ended up being hospitalized for 9 days. What a great way to cap off the summer after you've had to endure that in the wintertime than to have these moments.
All right, it makes it all worth it, I guess? Or maybe a thing of the past? Just another thing to overcome. I love hearing the stories of the athletes and their struggles, but overcoming it to get to where they are today.
Good pitch, strike three of the inside corner. We were talking about Brooklyn and her dad, Brett, as we see this again.
So that's a nice pitch, a good location on that inside corner.
That one crushed towards center field, down off the end of the bat. Zakaya Haygood got an opportunity to swing the bat and did not waste it. And he just got right in the box, went right to work, an aggressive swing, and that was an RBI.
And that's just taking advantage of an opportunity. You get an opportunity to swing your bat, get in there, be aggressive, and get yourself an RBI. Well done.
Haygood, Sacramento at Albert Einstein School at 2027 as that one goes to the backstop. Gets the chance to play in the game, and Haygood, T is her mates call her. She's now back in that dugout. The daughter of Bobby and Victor. And her sister is Shantae, so way to go, T. Amanda Wetland. Amanda gets the call. Good work in center field all day long. Was hit for by the DP. This is wonderful to see the Rockland, California native get it at bat. Daughter of Sarah and Tim. Amanda plays all sports. You name it, she plays it. Hoops, volleyball, soccer. This sport too. 2-2 the count. Dreams of Division I softball someday. Open stance shows that bat. That one skips by, doesn't play to run. It does. It's 11-0.
Just off the glove, good read. That's McCartney scoring her third run.